So we're here to ask a question about writing and AI. And if you've been watching the news lately, you may know why I'm doing this video. You may have come across a story of someone who made a children's book, almost completely with AI in roughly a weekend. Part of how this was done was by using ChatGPT as a sort of writing assistant. Now, the biggest part of this story remains the art, which remains an ethical quagmire that I am not here to wade into. For this video, we're going to be focusing on the writing side of things, and specifically on ChatGPT. We're not really going to be debating its application. We're not debating if it is ethical or not, but what we're doing is seeing, is ChatGPT going to be able to construct a story that's worth reading? We're here to have some fun, essentially. We're going to try to either break it, like we did with the last AI writing video, or spiral into really some existential crisis about art and if we are all going to be replaced by robots. Or is it robots? It's not really robots, is it? That's not the right term. I don't know. I write fantasy, not sci-fi, for a reason. So we are going to go find our prompt, and we are going to take that random prompt and put it directly into ChatGPT, ask it to write a story with that prompt, and see what it comes up with. I'm both nervous and excited about this to see what it actually does come up with. I feel like there's a couple different ways for us to deal with AI writing, and I might as well at least
have fun with it until I'm eventually replaced.
But we have some rules for this story, because I think that these can be used as tools to enhance your writing. But the same way when we did the other AI writing story, I'm not going to assist the AI at all. I am just going to simply ask the question and see what it comes up with. I cannot help the AI. So first things first, we got to go back to our friend Squibbler to find a prompt that we can pick from. And while the temptation is there to try dangerous mode, that is again something that we will have to try in the future. So let's see what we get for our prompt that we're going to use with our AI. The footsteps. We're moving away. Wait, we're gonna actually have to get a new prompt because I believe this might be the exact same prompt we got before. Am I gonna have to not use Squibbler in the future? We'll see. We'll see. But let's generate another prompt.
Yay!
Now this seems like it could be actually a really interesting prompt. She wasn't happy, but she'd been recalled to life for a reason. Like, immediately I'm thinking of shows like Pushing Daisies. What kind of sort of fantasy sci-fi type story would you be able to come up with from this prompt? It feels like it could be you could make it into a comedy, you could make it into horror, you could make it into really anything. It's got a lot of oomph to it, but it definitely has some kind of like a little bit of a supernatural feel. So I wonder, what is AI gonna make of it? And honestly, will it be able to write a story? I have not tried this before this video. I have not attempted seeing if it will be able to write a story or not. So let's figure it out what AI can do. Let's test ChatGPT. Okay, so first things first, we got to come up with the right way to pose this question. I think the easiest way is going to be simply asking it to write a story. So all we have left to do is just pressing that button and seeing what we get. All right, here we go. So now that we have our story, let's dive in and see what we get. She wasn't happy about it, but she'd been recalled to life for a reason. She had been dead for almost a year, and now she was back. Her husband had been the one to bring her back, using the latest technology available. He had promised her that she would be able to help him with his work, and that they would be able to be together again. At first, she was excited to be alive again. She had missed her husband so much, and she was looking forward to spending time with him. But as soon as she was back, she realized that things were not as she had remembered them. Her husband was not the same person she had married, and He was not interested in spending time with her. She soon found out that her husband had only brought her back for his own gain. He wanted to use her to help him with his work, and he didn't care about her happiness or well-being. She was hurt and disappointed, but she knew that she had been recalled for a reason. She decided to use her second chance at life to make a difference. She started volunteering at a local hospital, helping to care for the sick and dying. She found out that it was a fulfilling and rewarding experience, and she was happy to be able to make a difference in the lives of others. She also decided to divorce her husband and move on with her life. She realized that being alive was not enough. She needed to be living a life that was true to herself. She was no longer just existing. She was truly living. Years passed, and she looked back at the day when she was recalled to life and smiled. She was happy that she had been given a second chance, and that she had used it to make a difference in the world. She knew that she had been recalled for a reason, and she was grateful to be alive. So it's not nearly as comical as the other reading we got, which was mostly nonsensical from the other AI writer. It's a little bit rudimentary. As I was going through it, I didn't feel much for any of the characters. I wondered about their motivation. There was a whole lot left to the imagination, and I thought it was interesting that they kind of took a little bit of a sci-fi look at it, I guess, using technology to bring her back. But I don't care about any of the characters. It felt hollow and lacking substance. It's well written for the most part. I mean, it's like I said, it's basic. It's very basic, but at least it's understandable, and you know, it makes sense, and it's a little bit scary that it can come up with that in what essentially amounts to about 35 seconds. But there's still a lot to be desired there, I think. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about how you know, we're safe, but I'm also not gonna sit back and spiral into an existential crisis either. But what do you think? Did you like the story that it wrote? What I would love to see from anyone watching this is if you want to give it a try. So I'm gonna put the prompt up on screen right now. Give it a try. Write a short story. Write whatever you want to write. If you want to take the AI story and write something completely new, do that. You can leave it in the comments. You can tag me on Twitter, whatever you want to do. If you want to do it in a video like this, go for it. I want to see you write this prompt and hopefully make something a lot better than what the AI did. Thank you so much for joining me in this exploration of ChatGPT. I'm sure we'll be coming back to it again to test it out and see what it comes up with. Perhaps, you know, we could maybe use something like the Jazza Arty Games app and maybe try and make it come up with something a little bit more adventurous. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, please consider leaving a like or a subscription, and I will see you again soon.